Well, here we are.
Here we are.
We're recording this episode remotely over Zoom because reasons. What were the reasons?
I think it boils down to we are old and
dying.
or broken.
Yeah. My back has been exploding. Your guts have been exploding. I could not make the trip. In case anyone was somehow unaware after 10 episodes of this already, we don't live in the same place, so I have to drive several hours to get to Brian, and that just wasn't going to be feasible to record this time. So here we are in internet land, and I'm just kind of crossing my fingers, hoping that this all works out.
I don't know how this could possibly fail. There's just
That's
no
a
reason.
good stance to have.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Okay, you're wearing a little handkerchief. What is that? What would you describe that as?
Actually, well, yeah, I'd say it's like a hair bow.
It's that
thing.
like strong arm
Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
it's that one.
But
that's you.
actually, the funny thing is that I'm not actually wearing it. That's a trick of the internet.
Oh my God, that's a Zoom filter.
Those aren't. That's not real at all.
It? Oh
no, that's not what they call it.
Well, in that case, I'm not wearing a shirt. I'm not wearing clothes.
Is that a Zoom filter?
Yeah, it's the most sophisticated one. I invented it. I created Zoom.
That explains why you're wearing a Batman shirt.
Okay, I'm not going to do that very often. We've gotten like legitimate complaints from people like, oh my God, the music is so annoying, shut the fuck up.
Oh no.
So I'll keep it to a minimum. Luckily I'm the only one that can do it this time. Brian can't reach a foot across the table and press a button.
Nor can I reach 200 miles.
I was about to say you can Plastic Man your arms through the multiverse and get over here.
That might be the easiest way to do it. Hold on, let me punch my laptop real quick.
There's a comic book story where Superboy literally punches reality and it shatters into. It's an infamously stupid moment, but that's what you got to do in order to press this button right here. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's been like 2 months since Brian and I have recorded any episodes of this because we did a bunch of bulk recordings at the start. What's this show called, Brian?
Yoppy Dudes.
No, that's what everyone wants it to be called. That's what the internet, the comment section wants it to be called.
There is nothing that makes me happier than seeing the Discord channel, and it's like new episode, and like immediately someone somehow in reaction spells out Yoppy or Yoppy Dudes
Y-O-P-P-I-E.
Yeah, or Yo Penis that one time.
Yeah, Yoppiness, that was pretty good. So if you've never listened to Yoppy Dudes, this show called Yoppy Dudes before, otherwise known as Jump on the Bat-Wagon or something like that, this is where we watch through the entire DC animated universe from start to finish in the controversial Airdate order, Brian.
Yes.
To experience the shows the way humans experienced them in the far gone days of the 1990s. And Brian has not seen any of these shows except for the 10 episodes that we've watched prior to this. And we are on episode 11 of Airdate order. Be a Clown is the episode we're watching today. I have no memory whatsoever of what your prediction was for this episode the last time we recorded 60 plus days ago. But do you have any memory of that? Or you want to do a new prediction?
I don't have a memory. The only thing
at all?
No, I have no memory.
Okay.
The thing for me, actually, it's like really distracting is I've got a friend down in California who's a clown. And his name is Brendan, but he goes by B the Clown. And so it's like, it's just so close that's kind of like...
Well, there's no comma in this title. B, a clown. It's not your friend. Okay. We're not friends, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Oh, I'll have to let him know.
I mean, was B the Clown around on September 6th, 1992, when this episode aired?
Probably.
You know, that doesn't actually sound right. It should be 16th. I wrote it wrong. It's what about that? Does that change anything?
Can you press the wop 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 button?
Yeah.
Nice. Good memory.
That's gonna be how it goes from now. I request the womp 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 button, please. Can you do the rim shot button? Thank you, good sir. I'm just like praying that I'm pressing the right buttons because I cannot hear a feedback of what the actual buttons.
You are.
Okay, good.
It's amazing.
And this one's the plot device. Yeah, I did it. Anyway,
predictions.
Like I said, yeah. What was your what did you think this was about? I can't remember.
I'm sure, knowing me, that I probably said it was Joker's origin story, or maybe
Yeah,
I
probably.
flipped it
Or
around and said
Batman's
that it was
origin
Batman's
story.
origin. Yeah.
Yeah, you flipped it around all right. You've never guessed that before.
It's eventually going to be right? Like
Sure.
they have to have an origin story at some point.
So this was the 9th produced episode, the 11th to air. This might be our closest aligned production air date crossover number.
And it's
so
still
far.
miserably far off.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, you dropped your pocket?
Sorry, future James.
What'd you do?
I kicked the mic stand.
Oh, my God.
It's going to make
That's
a big
going to hurt
clatter.
my ears.
Yeah, it is.
Future James is my dad. So anyway, this aired on Wednesday, September 16th, 1992 at 4:30 p.m. on Fox Kids. This was written by Ted Peterson and Steve Hayes. I said before on some of these episodes, like, I don't know who that is. And then after the fact, I'll be like, shit, I did know who that is. I just forgot in the moment. I've never heard these people's names in my life. Sorry, Ted Peterson and Steve Hayes.
If you want to start throwing that at me, you can be like, Brian, you've never heard these people in your life.
Yeah, you can be the one to say, I don't know who that is, so that I don't look as much like a jackass. Yeah.
Yeah, deal.
Yeah, okay. The director is Frank Power.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
Actually,
well,
I
I
do.
do. No.
Hasn't
But
he-
I do, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yes.
You're James, the magical.
Music. We have this cool Zoom delay where I get to talk over the top of Brian as much as I want. Music is by Michael McQuistion, who I actually do know. We've interviewed him on the channel as well as his other cohorts in the Dynamic Music Partners, which is a grouping of the DCAU composers. So Michael McQuistion, one of the good uns. But unfortunately, animation is by ACOM Production Company, which was
Bastards.
our bottom tier animation.
So we should be expecting good music, bad animation,
Yes.
questionable storyline?
Yeah, from the people we don't know. We really know this is bad. We know this is good. Don't know at all who these other people are. But yeah, you want to go watch the episode, and then we'll come back and we will talk about everything ever to do with it and trivia and your reactions seeing it for the first time.
I can't wait for my prediction to come true.
About this being Batman's origin story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I totally forgot I was going to do the whole, welcome back to another episode of James and Friends tried to turn friend Brian into a DC Animated Universe fan, or blah, 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 for forever. But you can pretend that I did that at the start of the episode.
Yoppy dudes!
Naughty, naughty, you're making me miss the show.
All right, Joker. Get ready for a little bat magic.
I'm going to give you the biggest birthday hug you've ever gotten, Brian. And by that, I mean, what did you think? What happened in this episode?
Well, I'll tell you, there was a big birthday hug that happened.
There was in the last 2 seconds.
The
of the
biggest
episode.
birthday hug that was then followed up by 2 thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
But let's go.
Just like Siskel and Ebert.
Yes, that's how they formed.
Everyone knows who that is that's listening to this.
Oh, not anymore. Now it's what, Ebert and Roper?
I think not even that anymore. I think
Really?
I think that
Roper
was
and
like-
Carlton?
Yeah, it's never mind.
Carlton and
Keep going.
Chavez.
What happened?
Okay. So we start off the episode, and this rich fella, what's his name?
What, the mayor?
Was that the mayor? Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It was,
Mayor Hill.
He was giving a speech.
This
and,
rich fella. I'm like, there are lots of rich fellas in this episode. Bruce Wayne?
So they were. The mayor was giving a press conference, and then suddenly all hell breaks loose. Scaffolding comes shooting down.
It sure does. The heaviest, largest scaffolding I've ever seen.
And the mayor's like, "Oh, we're gonna make this town safe," and then suddenly everything starts falling apart, and hamburger cars are flying through, and luckily the Batman comes swinging in on an I-beam, which is suspended, while he's also swinging from a rope, standing in an I-beam that's hanging from a rope, and that whole situation is somehow miraculously like sliding into
he was
frame
standing
together.
on top of a building nearby on the beam, just waiting for. He planned the car to come. He hates the mayor.
Well, this is the thing for me.
It goes back farther than you think.
Like, if you want to get into the actual physics of it, for that whole thing to work, for him to be swinging on a rope and standing on a gutter that's also independently swinging, they would have to be mounted from the exact same point with the exact same length of rope. So, like, why isn't he just on the gutter?
You're telling me there's something up with the physics in this Batman cartoon?
Yeah.
And that's the worst offender of physics in this entire episode.
Okay, point taken. I'll reel it back in. So
this is such a small scene at the start.
I know, it was so upsetting. So then we fast forward. The mayor's son Jordan is having a birthday party.
Jordan
Wants to be a magician, and.
There was a recent comic book issue that spins off this cartoon where Mayor Hill has like an older son that you don't ever see in the show, and named Hamilton Hill Jr. And we were speculating when the issue was going to come out of like, is this Jordan grown up? Was he always Hamilton Hill Jr., is Jordan his middle name, something like that. Turns out they're separate characters, but when we were speculating, we were like, you see, the problem here is that he calls him Hamilton Hill Jr. and then we just show every clip of someone, Jordan, in this whole episode. It happens so many times.
Yeah, people are really out for Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, where was I?
What happens to Jordan?
So at his birthday party, he wants to be a magician, and his dad wants nothing to do with his son. He apparently doesn't like him very much. And then this big surprise comes in. A clown comes and shows up, and everyone's, it's a clown, but it's the Joker in disguise. You could kind of say this is his origin story if you wanted. It wouldn't be true, but you could say it.
Yeah, you could say that, Brian.
I could say that.
Yeah. Mayor Hill hires a clown, and then when the clown shows up, it looks like the Joker, and he goes, well, I guess I don't see any problem here. Being the clown, I guess. Be a clown, if you will.
And so, nice.
Yeah.
And so then the Joker goes to dynamite everybody, but then Bruce Wayne accidentally whoops pushes the dynamite cake into.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Let me coming through. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. They're all just slowly moving out of the way.
So Bruce Wayne saves the day, making it seem like an accident. Pushes the dynamite cake into the pool, and meanwhile the Joker clown makes a getaway, but also so does Jordan. Who hides in the back of the Joker, the clown's car, who we come to find out was actually hijacked from the Joker. And then we go back to the Joker's lair, which is a very pristinely abandoned amusement park.
You were like, there is no way an entire amusement park has no one else in it or whatever.
Yeah,
I said, this is Gotham City, baby. Anything goes.
Anybody who knew of an abandoned amusement park would be in there. You'd have urban explorers. You'd have people spray painting the shit out of it.
I'm convinced that there are only like 20 citizens of Gotham City.
Yeah, they're all at the party.
You only ever see, like, if there's a Batmobile driving down the street shot, there's just nobody on the street ever. It's like, where is everybody? There's all these criminals in alleyways. That's all that happens. Nobody actually lives in the city.
It's Batman, a handful of criminals, and a bunch of rich people.
Yeah.
That's
including Jordan Hill.
Jordan.
Yeah, so then Batman shows up. Joker plays some tricks. Batman pulls a Houdini and gets put in a straitjacket in a tub of water. And then, with the help of Jordan, makes an escape. Jordan gets away. The Joker chases after him. And then we have to endure this like 3 to 5 minutes of roller coaster chase.
The really horrible perspective roller coasters.
Yeah, I'm trying to like reel in all of the physics issues on this episode. And then, Batman tosses Joker into a lake. Joker.
I didn't realize that was going to be water until the moment he hit it. It's just like a blue.
Yeah, blue-gray.
Airbrush.
It's the background color of every single other thing in this episode.
Yeah.
So you think he's going to splat, but no, it's water.
You think the Joker's going to explode into blood and guts, but
yeah, there's no waves on it. No nothing. No indication. But anyway, the Batman and the Jordan end up back at the mayor's house, and the mayor gives his son the biggest birthday hug ever. And then they might as well
we have our main 4 characters here at the end.
Yeah,
the Batman, the Jordan, the mayor, and the biggest birthday hug ever. Is that the name of this podcast?
Yes, the biggest birthday hug ever.
No, all 4 characters.
all
4 those. Yeah, it's a really long title this time.
The Batman, the Jordan, the mayor, and the biggest birthday hug ever. It sounds like an awkward children's book.
Full title episode, yeah. Okay, well, that's pretty close, but I'll say
give me the rundown.
TV Guide did it exactly the same way. Mayor Hill's son,
the Jordan.
Named, his name's not in here.
What?
Mayor Hill's son.
TV Guide.
When he's like, son, he says that a lot, feels overlooked and unloved when his father throws him an elaborate birthday party that is more a political media event than a real celebration. Meanwhile, there was that guy at the party with the cardboard camera that actually did work because he caught footage of the thing. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Joker infiltrates the party dressed as a clown in order to plant a bomb. The mayor's son, a budding magician, becomes so enamored of the clown's tricks that he steals away in the clown's truck when the Joker leaves. When Batman tracks down the Joker to a closed amusement park, the wily villain plays on the kid's naivete and uses him to trap the Batman. In the end, Batman saves himself and the boy and defeats the Joker atop a runway roller coaster. Sadder but wiser, the boy returns to his father, who now realizes how neglectful he was of his son's feelings. Is Jordan sadder at the end of the episode? Like, oh man, the Joker. He was the Joker. I'm so sad now.
I think it was the father. The mayor was sadder.
I don't think that's how the sentence worked that I just said, but either way. Yeah. There was a lot of interesting choices in the animation in this episode. A lot of the people at the party had very strange proportions and very strange nose and head shapes and all these weird it almost feels like they didn't draw any background extra model sheets for the animators for this episode and just said just figure it out, it's a crowd or something, because there's so much they don't even look like they belong in this art style. They're just weird goof troop background characters.
That's a good way to put it. And I think that's something that
they're animal human hybrids.
I think the animators got a little too concerned about making every single character look very, very different.
Yeah.
And then the color artists came in with their they had the
2 tones of orange and 1 blue.
I was thinking it was one of those old Crayola watercolor things that has the 8 colors, and that's all they had.
We ran out. What do we do? We've only painted 8 cells.
So you had these people who look drastically different, all they're from different universes. Yeah. Scarlett O'Hara's in there somewhere.
There was an Eggman. Yeah. The pig boy. Yeah, there was the photographer.
The giant baby man who was like legitimately probably 16 feet tall.
yeah. Proportions on height in this episode were interesting too.
But the one big physics thing I can't let go was when the Jordan jumps out of the back of the clown mobile, and like he like opens it, and he's like suddenly where he was crawling around in there before, and he was like maybe a third the height of this box truck. He like flings open the back doors somehow, is the whole height of the box truck, jumps out, and is now taller than the box truck.
Okay, all that CO2 in there really did a number on him.
That was his mutant like transition.
And the Joker didn't even. I was for some reason thinking like, oh, the Joker kidnapped him. That was his whole scheme. And then he's like, what? The kid left? He's missing now? And then, hi, Joker, I'm here. What? You're what? Why are you? Like, I was so confused why Joker was confused. Like, what was Joker's plan then? Just according to this, it's he went to the party to plant a bomb. But was that why did he talk to Jordan so much? Why was he doing that? Why was he there?
I mean, I think he was really there to like differentiate himself from Batman, because like, oh, Batman at least didn't blow up my son at the party or whatever.
Okay,
but I don't know. It's kind of a reach.
Yeah, because Mayor Hill is like, Batman and Joker are cut from the same cloth or something, and Joker's like, excuse me, I'm way more handsome than Batman. Let me show you. I'll show up to your party. You can see how handsome I am in person. I'll disguise myself so that you can't tell it's me, but it's me.
And I'm more handsome still.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, several terrible non-jokes that the Joker says and then laughs hysterically at. There's better. This is not a good Joker episode.
It's not. There's good voice acting on it, at least.
Yeah.
But only out of Joker.
Where did I gotta open up the top 10 document, DCAU top 10. There it is. Okay, I gotta make sure that when we get to that point.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that. Maybe I'll open it up too.
What was the last episode called? Nothing to Fear. I never actually replaced the gibberish that I wrote in there. All right. Anyway,
what is the file called?
It's called DCAU Top 10.
Oh, there we go.
Is there riveting content here? The cast for this episode: Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Yeah.
Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Lloyd Bachner as Mayor Hill. We got an appearance by Detective Bullock, but he did not say anything.
So we don't get to say his name.
No, we don't. What did you call him? You're like, who is that? What did you? Yeah. You're like, what was that guy? Kronk. He's just standing there shoving his face with cake.
I'm surprised at how bad I am at remembering these characters, but like, maybe we should just do these actually weekly, and then maybe I'll
Didn't you write "Get Up on the Hydra's Back" on the wall next to you in pencil? Is it still there?
I changed things since you were last here, and I got a couple of keyboards hanging on the wall. I might have to rewrite it somewhere. I'll write it on the desk. How else are you gonna remember?
We got Jim Cummings as the real Jekko. Do you recognize that name at all? Jim Cummings?
No.
Well, he's the voice of like a billion cartoon characters. He's the voice of Darkwing Duck.
Oh, nice.
He's the voice of modern day Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. He's Pete in all the Goofy stuff. Pete, the big cat boy. He's in The Lion King. He's the hyena that just laughs a lot, Ed.
That was my favorite part.
And et cetera, et cetera. Mary Devon as Summer Gleason, otherwise known as Some Lady, Some Woman.
Some Lady.
Mark Hamill as the Joker, of course. And then Justin Shenkaro as Jordan. He is not anyone that I know. Apparently nowadays he plays Rhino or he's about to play Rhino on a like kids Spider-Man cartoon.
That's my favorite cartoon.
I know. It's called A Kids Spider-Man Cartoon, 2021. He was the voice of Harold on Hey Arnold, the bully guy.
What?
Yeah, I had no idea until I looked him up.
I am a sucker for Hey Arnold, I'll say.
Yes. We should do a Hey Arnold podcast after this.
Can you replace the that?
Yeah, with
Can
the
you
Hey Arnold.
The
I think that'll go over better with the fans. Yeah. Doesn't it start off with a bunch of just kind of weird like record scratches and sound effects or something before it goes into the song?
So here we go. Here we go.
And then it just goes in. It starts every time that I want to play the song. The last thing that was notable that he played was, have you ever seen this clip from the 90s Picket Fences sitcom? It's a clip of a kid that's having like a dream. He's sitting in his bed. He's having a dream. His bedroom door opens, and this like supermodel in a bikini walks in holding chocolate cake in one hand and a Game Boy in the other hand, and says like, oh, you know, whatever the kid's name is, like your wildest dreams or whatever, chocolate cake, Game Boy, and me. And then he wakes up and he like has an erection and it freaks out.
What the fuck?
That's that kid. It's this kid.
The more words you said there, the less my brain had like a grasp on reality, and now I don't think I know what I'm doing.
Let me start
here.
over. So there's this kid. He's completely naked. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's apparently the kid plays Jordan. Anything else that happens in this episode before we get into trivia that you want to talk about? Any like thing that stuck out? What were some good things in this episode? We talked about terrible animation, and I mean, I said that the composer was one of the good ones, but nothing really stuck out to me as like, I mean, this is maybe his first episode, so I don't know.
Yeah, nothing really like.
There was nothing good.
It was a fine episode. It just didn't stand out. There was no like great drama. There was no great storytelling. The whole plot could really be boiled down to Mayor doesn't like his son. Joker accidentally steals son. Batman and Joker fight. Son goes back for the biggest birthday hug ever.
He sure does. Yeah, and then everything's fine from now on, apparently. Like,
there's just no...
Their relationship is mended. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a perfect father-son relationship from here on out.
This episode is weirdly, like, famous, I guess, because there's just a lot of things from this episode that go on to be iconic Batman the Animated Series things. Like, for instance, there's like a promotional poster for the show that is Batman and Joker like punching each other in a roller coaster, and so that's from this episode, but it's drawn by Bruce Timm, so it looks way better than the actual episode looks. And then there's also a level of one of the Batman the Animated Series video games, Super Nintendo, I think, that is a recreation of the roller coaster scene. Like, it's a fight with Joker that you have to do on a roller coaster. And then, of course, there's the whole shot at the end with the thumbs up that he does is like an animated GIF that people use as reactions all the time. So
I expect to see those reactions somewhere.
Well, I mean, you subconsciously, you'll see it next time you watch a Watchtower Database video in my little like intro of like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff that with the like clips from shows. When it shows it's just Batman doing the thumbs up.
That is such a like... I guess the ending of that feels a lot like one of those 90s, like don't do drugs kids kind of videos that they'd show and roll your little VHS CRT TV into the classroom.
I mean, because I said it felt like Scooby-Doo when Joker was like cycling through his security cameras, and there was just all these super flat angles of Batman walking around the amusement park. That was the ending also feels like a very like Scooby-Doo says something very mildly funny and the entire crowd erupts in laughter.
Yeah. This is not a miraculous episode for me, but
no,
it's fine.
Is it better than It's Never Too Late? do you still that's what you'll have to decide.
Wait, I honestly like I'm having a hard time remembering that episode. Which one?
That was the one with the mob bosses and the train. The train flashbacks, PTSD.
Oh my god.
Which we both have ranked lowest on our top 10 at the moment. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it'll see if this one kicks it off or if it replaces it or whatever. So if it's below that or not. This might not make the top 10. We don't know. We're not there
we'll
yet,
see.
though.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about some trivia, and then I also, for anyone listening, we've been saying every episode, like, write in at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com. Write us an email, and we actually have a couple this time because it's the first time. This is the first episode we're recording since the podcast has actually been on the air. And I should have mentioned that up top, probably.
Wow,
but,
is that true?
yeah, we recorded 10 episodes before we even aired the first one, so, but yeah.
I kind of wish we could do them a little more like, I don't know, maybe we'll find out that this is the best way to do it or whatever.
I was about to say, yeah, if this actually works out. The only problem with that is I don't get to come hang out with you. We just have to look at each other on a screen. But
I mean, that works better for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about trivia. The title of this episode. What? Okay, the title of this episode, Be a Clown,
is in
from
reference
Brian
to
Maneely's friend. From, yeah. There's a 1948 movie, The Pirate, starring Gene Kelly, that apparently has a song called Be a Clown. I've never seen this movie.
Oh, no.
Gene Kelly's the Singing in the Rain guy.
Yes.
But you knew that.
I knew that.
You. According to Bruce Timm on the Toon Zone message boards, I should say all of this trivia is either from the DCAU wiki or IMDb or my own brain. This one is not a brain one. According to Bruce Timm on the Toon Zone message boards, director Frank Power was having difficulties with the storyboarding crew. A freelancer quit, so Bruce Timm storyboarded the entire second act, which I think is from I would assume that's like fade back in from commercial break. There's a bomb in the cake all the way through, like, I don't know, whatever the next commercial break was. I can't remember.
That was the Houdini bit.
Oh, yeah, okay. The roller coaster sequence would be adapted into a level, Adventures of Batman and Robin video game. I said that. The chef from Pretty Poison is in the crowd at the birthday party.
Oh.
Never
you
remember the
known.
chef from Pretty Poison?
Yeah. I mean, that's my 4th episode and your 5th episode. We should definitely remember those.
That's the Poison Ivy one.
Yeah, I know.
Has it really been long enough since we've recorded that you don't remember the 10 episodes that we've already watched?
I think I remember most of them.
maybe not by title, but if I explained. Oh yeah, it was
Nothing
that
to
one. Yeah.
Oh, Nothing to Fear was the Scarecrow one.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's Never Too Late is the one that's definitely most.
When we get to the top 10, you should try to tell me what each episode was. Like,
This
try
is
to remember. See if
this
we
is
can remember.
quickly becoming a Brian Remembers Things podcast, which is not my strongest.
What happened in the
string.
episode? What happened in this episode? According to legend, the laughing robot clown that was like by the Snake Man exhibit.
Oh,
he
yeah,
runs up to a clown thing. Is a recording of Tim Curry's laugh as the Joker before Mark Hamill was cast in his stead. And I've never found a confirmation for that. I've never asked anybody about that, but that would be cool if that was the case.
That'd be awesome.
We just recently, I guess I'll talk about this. I don't know if it, by the time you're listening to this, maybe it's already happened or it's happening soon. But the voice of the Riddler, John Glover, did an audition as the Joker, like Mark Hamill beat him out or whatever. And when we interviewed Dan Reba in our 24-hour stream last year, he shared with us that he had a cassette tape of that audition, but he didn't want to share it on the thing because he didn't want to not do it without John Glover's permission and not, whatever. And then a fan of someone that watched our live stream went to a Comic-Con where John Glover was doing a panel and asked him if it would be okay to release that thing, the audition.
Yeah.
And so now we're talking to John Glover where he's like, yeah, just put it out there. I don't care. Just get me a copy of it, kind of a thing. So maybe soon we'll be doing that. We'll be revealing that.
Oh, that's so cool.
It is cool. But I don't think Tim Curry's audition is on that, unfortunately. I really wish that there was multiple people on there or something, but
All right, we got to know somebody that knows Tim Curry, right?
yeah, we got to make a connection here. B the Clown. He probably knows Tim Curry because Tim Curry was a clown in that It movie or something, on Wild Thornberries.
I'm trying to think of if I have any actual possible,
Well, while you think about that,
yeah,
let me
let's
tell
talk
you
about this.
Let me tell you about how Batman takes a breath after the water has already passed his nose and mouth.
Yes, I noticed that.
The picture of the Great Prosciutto is a caricature of comics writer Alan Moore, who is famous for The Killing Joke, but also Watchmen, V for Vendetta. He had a famous run on Swamp Thing, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, blah, 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 blah. He's a famous comic book dude. Joker's flower originally squirted acid instead of gas, but broadcast standards and practices had it changed because it was too threatening. So, if there's anything about Joker in this episode, is that he was really threatening.
He was very threatening.
Yeah, throwing baby dolls at Batman that explode.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, they can do exploding, throwing
exploding baby
explosives at
dolls,
Batman,
like threatening to blow everybody up at the party with a stick of dynamite.
but don't have acid. Yeah.
No acid flowers. That's too much.
And this last thing I've got is a quote from Bruce Timm about the roller coaster sequence.
Okay.
We knew immediately that we didn't have the budget that Disney did. He's referring to like this Roger Rabbit roller coaster short or something like that. We had to figure out a way of doing all that really neat fast action on a roller coaster without having to animate perspective. Norwood, I assume that's a storyboard person, figured out a lot of interesting little cheats, and unfortunately ACOM pulled it off, which they don't normally. Oh, and fortunately ACOM pulled it off, which they don't normally do, he says. But I disagree. I don't think they pulled it off at all. Maybe for 1992
I think
children's
that's the
television.
thing. Is like maybe we're just looking. These are like obviously like all hand drawn cells. Like there's a lot of sloppiness on like the character lines. So I guess maybe we're just like not giving them enough credit of, it going around corners and up hills and like sticking to like accurate sizes and all this stuff. I don't know. We're maybe being a little bit too harsh, but there's also been some great animation on this show already. So
yes, yeah. When you said the thing about the color palette at the party, I was just thinking about that piece of trivia from the Clayface episode about how they're like, use this color palette, and they just said no, we're gonna do our own thing and it looks way better. But I mean, I really think there's probably only a small handful of episodes left animated by this company before they said like, okay, thank you, goodbye.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah, really. Okay, so I've got some yappy mail I've put in my phone.
Yeah. Can we get a yappy mail like kind of theme song for mail?
How about this? Yappy mail.
Could you hear it that time?
No, I could not. Was it timed up with the thing?
That was perfectly synchronized.
Okay, good.
Your anal retentiveness wins again.
Yep. My inner metronome.
Good job.
So first was in our Discord server. There after the first couple of episodes aired, we got Tron Travolta. Gonna listen to the new Yappy Dudes on my bike ride, and then Ian Watson, who's been one of our biggest fans for quite a while. He says, I regret to inform that I've gone through both parts of the Cat in the Claw twice, and I have been unable to find the Yappy foods that James references. Does anyone have a timestamp? Tron Travolta shares a screenshot of exactly where it is. 9 minutes and 34 seconds in part 1. For anyone that actually wants to go check. Ian says, much obliged. That's why I couldn't find it. It appears to have been blacked out on Google Play's version. And it looks like the DVD versions are still up on Google Play. Like they haven't replaced them with the HD yet. Oh. So it's just like way, way, way darker and more compressed and all this stuff. So you can't even see that it says Yappy Food on it. It's just a black nothingness.
Damn.
Ian bumped up the contrast of the picture to try to see it and still couldn't. So bumping up the contrast, there's an obvious black rectangle at the top. They definitely covered it up. What else are they hiding? And then
well, I can tell you in this episode something that I'd be interested to see people going through this, like watching through with us. There was that one shot kind of like over, I guess they were like, just maybe it was when the Joker was running out or the Jordan was running out. They had all like the galleries and like games and stuff in this amusement park. And one of them was Shudo.
Yeah.
SHOOTO.
Yeah, you shouted like Shudo. Because maybe it was Joker referring to the Great Prosciutto.
I mean, but I think it was like a shooting gallery game.
Yeah.
And it just said Shudo. So anyway, I wonder if that's still in there or if that's been blocked out. So if anyone wants to go back and look for that.
So after this thing where they show that you can't see Yappy food, what else are they hiding? Our composer Adam Mullen, he gets on there and he just Googled Yappy, and apparently Yappy is a menstrual cycle care company. And to find out more about Yappy, our menstrual cycle care range, and our approach to keeping your periods happy and your various bits healthy the natural way. Gliz Feldis says, confirmed BTAS hates women. Ian Watson says, we've just blown this conspiracy wide open. And Adam says, basically, James and Brian are menstruation dudes or tampon dudes. So I guess that's the new name of the podcast. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Menstruation Dudes. All right, let's get past that.
But wait, I want to know when... good job for Adam, like, jumping on that. Yeah, Yappy... But, like, who is Yappy? Where is Yappy based? I want to know.
I don't know
when they started, though, because this was, again, in, like, 1992.
Okay.
I'm willing to bet this company was not.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, because the episode was 1992. I thought you were about to say the company was. No, probably not. But why would you call it Yappy Food? Like, that's a little, it makes me lose my appetite a little bit. I don't want food. I don't want Yappy food.
Oh my God. So the amazing thing is that maybe we should see if we can get sponsored by Yappy, because they've got a mood and PMS supplement, full menstrual cycle care. It's the first thing that comes up on my Google.
It's like gummies or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That's Yappy food, I guess.
Wow. This changes my life completely.
All right, cool. We got a couple of reviews on iTunes already. A couple of 5-star reviews on the podcast.
What are they saying?
This one's from Jamie P. Streckward III. Definitely wasn't me just testing that this actually worked. The headline is Pure Yappiness. The bulk of the text is That Mac Sure Is Spicy. So thanks, Jamie P. We love you. This one's from an actual other person, Pixar Nerd. It's an amazing, fun podcast. It's really fun to listen to James and Brian argue over character names and come up with plots for episodes, as well as their ongoing battle with that pesky fan. the window fan is what they're talking. I highly recommend this podcast to any DCAU fan. Thank you, Pixar Nerd.
Pixar Nerd, that's sweet.
If you are listening and you want to go leave us a 5-star or whatever star, 5 helps, but just be honest, review on iTunes or Spotify or whatever, we'll see it. I might read it on the podcast in a future episode. You never know.
I like that idea.
We got an email, podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com if you want to send in anything to the podcast. We got one from Dylan Pollock. Hi, Yappy boys. Thought it might be cool to find out Brian's top 3 villains from DC to start with, and maybe find out if that changes at all going forward. Maybe he'll fall in love with a certain villain who loves ketchup, or some guy with a bunch of crocodiles. From Dylan. Just ignore those last couple of parts. You'll find out what that means later.
Is that a thing? Is that a real thing?
Those are 2 separate characters, but yes.
Wow.
You're 11 episodes in now.
11 episodes in.
But putting that aside, like, did you have any top 3 DC villains before we started this podcast?
Before we started,
or did you even know 3 DC villains?
I knew 3.
I guess
I probably knew 4.
Like live action Batman villains probably.
Yeah, that's
maybe
what
like
it is.
Lex Luthor or something.
Yeah. Are we talking just DC or just Batman at this point, or?
It says top 3 villains from DC to start with is Dylan's suggestion.
I mean, I've always liked the Joker. I think everyone's liked the Joker, and that's probably why there's so much of like a Joker thing going on this past
Basic
decade.
Brian over here.
I know, but it's what I'm exposed to, right? I always thought that the Penguin made me uncomfortable. The Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze was super awkward. But actually, in the Adam West in the Adam West Batman universe, I actually really loved the Riddler. He was just he was so, I don't remember his name. Maybe you do.
The actor?
Yeah.
It's like Gorshin or Gershwin or something. I can't remember.
More than I can remember.
It's a G name.
Yeah, so I'd say...
He was a real G, that Riddler. That's what I'm trying to say.
So I'd say, like, Joker overall is a cool character when he's played well. The Riddler was really entertaining.
Do you have a favorite Joker besides this cartoon one, like a live-action Joker?
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, for me, that's
a good answer.
He was like, really... Speaking of OG, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been, like, trying to, like, live up to him. I just watched the Joker movie not super long ago.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Not like he was wonderfully disturbed, but like not my favorite Joker. I haven't seen the one with Jared Leto yet.
That's okay.
Yeah, that seems a little too like pop culture for my like just like seeing previews.
He's
and stuff,
the hot topicist Joker we've had.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, you got to have new takes, but yeah, for me, the Jack Nicholson had he had the sophistication and he had the insanity, and he didn't have whole lot of jokes.
It's what the animated one is, kind of based on, sort of. So, at least in physical appearance, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
I need a third.
You do,
a third guy, don't I?
Or girl.
I mean, the Adam West Catwoman was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. You don't like Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman?
No. Oh, and then who else did Catwoman?
Who else did Catwoman?
There was another Catwoman.
You mean like in the Dark Knight movies? Or was there
a couple of different? Yeah, Catwomen's.
Yeah, there's oh my god, I'm a fake fan. I can't remember the name of the actress that plays Catwoman in Dark Knight Rises. I'm thinking too hard about DCAU stuff right now. My brain's in a different sector.
Yeah, right?
It's Princess Diaries girl.
Princess
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway did Catwoman.
Yeah, in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh my
2012.
God. Yeah. Halle Berry did Catwoman.
That is true.
That was a long time
technically.
Ago. I'm just going back through all the Catwomen.
Is Catwoman your number 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Joker, Riddler, and Catwoman are your top 3 DC. Okay. Well, from what you've seen, we haven't met Riddler yet, but from what you've seen of Joker and Catwoman in this show, do you maintain those for your top, like, Batman the Animated Series villains so far?
Is Clayface? He was a not very villainy villain.
Yeah, but he counts.
I would say I really liked Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Iceman. Iceman, Clayface, and Joker.
Are you talking about Mr. Freeze?
Yeah. Those are in order. Mr. Freeze, Clayface, Joker.
Okay. So I guess we're not going to keep a running tab of that at all. But when we're done with everything, if we remember at all, we can come back. We can
just toss it in occasionally, like does that villain change your top 3?
Yeah. So back on Yappy.
Yeah.
I asked Dan Reba, who is a director on this show. We haven't gotten to one of his episodes yet, but I showed him the screenshot, and because I had to see if, like, okay, this is my, like, best connection to someone who was in the room when these episodes were being made, like, but I don't know if he was on the team yet, like if they had hired him yet when the first aired episode was being made or whatever, when the Yappy food happened. So I showed him the screenshot. I said, any idea if Yappy was some kind of inside joke or anything? And he said, I suspect it's Korean misspelling of something. I can't figure out what it's supposed to be, though. He said, at that point we were calling retakes and may not have noticed. Plus, so what? It makes no sense, but ultimately what harm is there in that? Is it obscene? I do feel like going out for Yappy food now. It sounds delicious. We may never know what that was actually supposed to be.
Oh man, I think we should just keep asking. Just keep reaching out. We'll just keep
We'll just ask
plugging
anybody
away.
that we get to talk to in the future. I'll be like, by the way, just quick aside,
Set that as the background
what's
on your
a
phone,
yappy
so you can
shoe?
just like lift up your phone and be like,
I'll
does
just
this
put it as my
register?
Zoom background image. Okay, and then our last one this comes from Zion Grayson, XYON. Zion. That's a cool name. That's not. I want that name.
Any relation to Dick?
I hope so. To James and Brian, great work on the podcast. It's become one of my favorite things to look forward to every Friday, and you guys never fail to make me laugh. Thank you.
Aw.
The DCAU podcast your mom doesn't want you to listen to, and Dream of Beans bits are some of my favorites. I can't wait for you to get to some of my favorite episodes like Old Wounds and Robin's Reckoning. Keep up the good work, guys.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Old Wounds.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, there's the chunk of episodes that I've listed out for us to record next, including this one. We're like, okay, we'll get through these. But the chunk after that, the like 5, we're doing these like 5 at a time or whatever. The chunk after that are like, ooh, oh, we're getting to this episode. Oh, we're getting to this episode.
All right.
So I'm really looking forward to getting past this like. What do you want to call it? Like awkward teen years of of Batman, like where we can finally start getting into some good stuff.
And what was who Zion?
Zion Grayson,
Zion. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or maybe it's like
Zion.
Jen or something.
Jean?
I don't know.
Jen?
I don't know how you say it. XYON.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just made a face. Not a name, actually. You might want to get that checked.
No, I just don't know how to. I'm always so hesitant to like mispronounce people's names.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's such an insult, and so I just kind of, oof. Yeah. Thank you for leading that. I'm just gonna follow your lead, Jamie.
Okay, sounds good, because that's what we do here on James and Friends try to make friend Brian, whatever it was. I don't. Name of podcast. Let's move on to our top 10.
Let's do
this
it.
Is where we have technically now we have an actual top 10 between the two of us because we've done 10 episodes of the podcast before this. Brian.
Yes.
Now, okay. We've gotten a lot of feedback on the episodes since we've started. I'm trying to both consider all of it and like go, whatever, this is how we're doing it, just deal with it kind of a thing. There was a couple people that said that they were getting annoyed by me listing off the top 10 episodes every single time. They're like, yeah, I listened to the podcast. I know what the top 10s are. You can just tell me where this new one goes. But what if this is your first time listening to this podcast? I want you to know
Fair shake.
what the top 10 are. But instead of just saying them instead of being like number 10, this number 9, like I'll just say them in reverse from 10 to 1. Okay.
Cool.
What?
Good
These are mine.
compromise.
These are mine.
Yeah, say yours.
Starting at number 10. It's Never Too Late. What was that episode about, Brian? Let's not do that. Cat in the Claw Part 2, Cat in the Claw Part 1, Nothing to Fear, Feet of Clay Part 1, Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Heart of Ice, Feet of Clay Part 2, On Leather Wings.
Nice.
I'm sticking with On Leather Wings at number 1 for now.
Yeah, that's
What is your
that's
top
your
10?
mistake. So my 10 to 1 is It's Never Too Late, The Cat in the
Correct.
Claw Part 2,
Correct.
On Leather Wings.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I should put that one at 10.
That's
You're
so
right.
low. What the hell? My number 1 is your number 8.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
Feet of Clay Part 1, Nothing to Fear, The Cat in the Claw Part 1, Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Feet of Clay Part 2, and Heart of Rice.
And Heart of Rice, where Batman battles a Mongolian grill. Are you satisfied with needs more sauce?
I actually, maybe we should do like a quick like little bonus episode and rewatch On Leather Wings because I want to convince you why it's so bad and I want you to
Or
try
you
to get
want-
it in my top 5.
Yeah, I want you to see you'll just end up watching and going like, Jamie, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
So you remember what all these are, right? Perfectly.
I do perfectly.
Are there any on the list that you look at and go like, I don't remember what that episode was?
It's Never Too Late was the only one that I was confused about.
Okay. It's the least memorable. It's the most vague title also. The rest of them have just a pretty obvious, like, the bad guy was this character.
Yeah.
So, all right. So putting Be a Clown on this list, are we going to bump anything off the list, or does Be a Clown not even make the list?
Be a Clown? Should I pause for dramatic effect? That's
drum roll.
That's a terrible drum roll.
Drum roll.
Drum device. I am absolutely going to bump something off the list.
Oh. Well, I mean, the only thing that can be bumped off is It's Never Too Late.
No. I'm gonna leave that on, and Cat in the Claw Part 2. I'm gonna remove On Leather Wings and put Be a Clown in position 8.
That's not how it works. You can't do that. We've already discussed this. You can't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Be a Clown at number 10.
Okay. I'm gonna do it for you.
I noticed that.
Be a Clown. Should we erase the ones below?
I don't know.
I guess that makes sense.
We can just let them. We can let them roll. It doesn't really matter.
Let them fester for the time being.
Actually,
yeah.
that'll get too big. You're right. We should delete them.
I mean, yeah, we'll have hundreds listed on here. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. It's Never Too Late. No, what do you, Brian is replacing On Leather Wings on my number 1 with Be a Clown. That's not right. In fact, Be a Clown is not going to make my list.
Oh, wow.
At all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
this is where our paths diverge. It's been great working with you.
the first time we've ever disagreed on the list, where I have Heart of Ice at number 3.
And never again shall we have the same top 10.
You know, it's
That's
never
not
too
true.
late to keep It's Never Too Late on the top 10.
I mean, isn't it now? Can I never get it back?
Well, for you it is, yeah.
Yeah.
You
I just
can't,
want to
yeah.
do that one out of spite. I don't like
you
Be a
just
Clown.
really wanted it off of there.
Yeah.
I don't even like Be a Clown better. I just wanted It's Never Too Late to be
Which
out of
I
there.
promise you is going to happen the next podcast.
Where Be a Clown
I'm just
is
going to
gone.
constantly, I'm going to leave my top 9 the same and
Yeah,
constantly
just
replace
keep
the 10th
removing,
position with whatever episode we're watching.
We'll have like way, way better episodes than any of
Is
these.
it 10? Put it in
Nope.
10th?
Yeah, I mean, I think my justification is like, It's Never Too Late was boring, but it at least had like kind of a consistent atmosphere, and it had like some interesting plot going on with the like gangsters fighting over territory and their own families and stuff like that. Whereas Be a Clown is just, I don't know, it's just a very like sloppy, childish episode, I guess. Like, it just doesn't feel like...
Now, allow me to like just stop you right there and then tell you where you're wrong.
Okay.
And the thing is that like this episode is classic. I mean, it made it to posters, it made it to video games. You know, we had Bruce
But
Timm
as we
himself.
talked about before, we're not letting outside elements influence our decisions here, just based purely on what we just watched.
I don't remember agreeing to that.
Well, you don't remember what It's Never Too Late was until I
A fair point indeed.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's coming up next episode. You get your little predicty poo in.
Oh yeah, should
Our
I
next
predict what the title's
episode.
going to be?
Sure, go for it. Be 2 clowns. See a clown. B C clown.
I
B
like
B
it.
clown. Actually, sorry, that was so it should be.
B flat
We had
clown?
B A clown. Yeah. B sharp clown. What's it called?
What's it called, Jamie?
Yo, you're not gonna guess what the episode's
Oh
called.
God! Can you give me a hint of the character, like the main character it's gonna be about?
A doctor.
Okay.
And it's not a supervillain doctor. It's like a normal ass doctor. Just a doctor.
Proctology first.
The episode's called Appointment in Crime Alley.
I was pretty close.
Yeah. It has none of those words.
Are you talking about butt doctors? I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think Appointment in Crime Alley is going to be about? I mean, I told you you had a doctor.
It's gonna be about a doctor.
The doctor is telling Batman's origin story.
I am willing to bet that it's an evil doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Octopus.
That adds up, seeing as how he's the Spider-Man villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Have you seen the trailer for the next Spider-Man movie? Do you watch any of that kind of stuff? I don't think you do.
I feel like I have, but it didn't stick. Tell me about this trailer. Maybe
it's about like the multiverse gets opened up, and so at the end of the trailer, Dr. Octopus from like the 2000s Spider-Man movie comes through and
oh no,
hello Peter, and that's the end of the trailer.
No, I didn't. But that sounds a lot like Into the Spider.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that? Is it Into the?
You're right.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Into the Spider-Man. Yeah.
I love that. That is such
proctology
a
first.
Okay. Just gonna be like a crime doctor of crime.
That's
DDS.
Very strangely on point what you just said. So okay,
you're welcome. You're welcome, Yappy fans. I'm not gonna let you down. Next week.
This podcast, I can officially say, is out every Friday on the Podtower YouTube channel and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, otherwise known to old people as iTunes, because apparently it's not even called iTunes anymore.
It's called Apple
Podcast.
Yeah.
Apple Music. So yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you,
did
listener.
All the things. We're on the Podtower channel all the time. Well, I am all the time, but and Watchtower Database, of course. If you want to email into the show, we can read your things. podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com, and that's it.
What about the Discord? You gotta plug the Discord.
Discord's linked in the description of the places.
Yeah.
Come hang out and put yappy on the podcast reaction emojis.
I want to see people like racing for it and see if they can just like someone's trying to spell yappy, someone else is trying to spell something different.
There's a Y after. Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah. Why? No. I don't even know how they do both P's, because you can't do a different P.
Oh wow.
Can you do a different P? You ever think about that?
I've only done different. Never mind.
I was with the appointment in Crime Alley. Doc, I did a different P. I need your help.
I will pay anybody $10 hard cash to go to their doctors and say I did a different P.
Oh, I thought you were. I'll pay anyone $10. Go to a Comic-Con and get Kevin Conroy to say, "Hey Doc, I did a different P."
That's $100. I would pay $100 for that.
Is that worth $100? Write in and let us know. Leave us a 5-star review with your answer. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Okay, you gonna play us out, Jamie?
Yes. End of the podcast. Jump on the Bat-Wagon. It probably wasn't as good.
Adam, we need a theme song.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm not going to stop. So you stopped recording, right? So I'm not going to, so that'll just be this one-sided podcast now. And everyone's going to love it. Oh, God, wait. Can you say that again? I'll put the headphone up to the microphone.
What? I'm James. I'm really handsome and not stupid.
Oh, that's not what you said at all.
My boy is back.
I'm so sorry for running away.
Please forgive me for the party. If we can talk later. Right now, I want to give you the biggest birthday hug you ever got.